So, welcome children once again. Today we are going to start with programming with the modulus operator. Now children, all of you know this modulus operator. It is an arithmetic operator, and this modulus operator gives us the remainder of any division. Say for example, if I say 10 modulus 4, then if you divide 10 by 4, what will be the remainder? I think the remainder will be 2. The question will be 2 if I say if I say 10 modulus 3, then the remainder will be 1. But if I say 10 modulus 2, then my remainder is 0. Now children, when my remainder comes to be 0, that means this number is divisible by this number. So 10 is divisible by 2, then the remainder is 1. This concept we are going to use in many of the programs which we are doing, and these programs are coming also. So in the beginning children, we are going to write down a program, and I request you to even write down these programs which I am giving you, because they are coming in the exams also. So the first program children we are doing is that write a program to input a number, input an integer number and check whether it is divisible by 7 or not. So write a program to input an integer number and check whether it is divisible by 7 or not. Say children, I input my number in n, and if this number is divisible by 7 is 0. If n modulus 7 is 0, then that means that n is divisible by 7, and if it is not resulting to 0, that means that number is not divisible. So how we can do this program? We'll say class series public void main. We enter a number. This is the number we entered. Now just to check, I say if n modulus 7, if this is resulting to 0, then I will say that my number, which is n, is divisible by 7, and else if this condition is false, then I say that my number is not divisible by 7. N is not divisible by 7. So I hope children this is a simple logic where we have used a modulus function to check whether a particular number is divisible by 7 or not. Now the same program can be done. Write another program. The another program is write a program to input an integer number and print whether it is an even number or odd number. So write a program to input an integer number and check whether it is an even number or an odd number. Now children, all of you know that even numbers are divisible by 2 and odd numbers are not divisible by 2. So the same condition I am going to put here to check. I say class check, and I input a number, and to check whether it is even, I say if n modulus 2 is equal to 0, then that means n is even, otherwise n is odd. So we'll print is an even number, and else we say if it will not be an even number, we'll say that n is an odd number. So children, I hope you have followed this program. If my number is divisible by 2, I say it is an even number, and if it is not divisible by 2, I say it is an odd number. So I can check my number. These are very small programs, but we are going to use them in these concepts. We are going to use in the other programs also. Now children, next program is, which has come in the board exam also. Just write down. Write a program to find the sum of all the odd numbers and all the even numbers separately for the first n natural numbers. So the program says like that, to find the sum of all the odd and even numbers separately for the first n natural numbers. So natural numbers from 1 to n are 1, 2, 3, 4 till n. You have to add all the odd numbers, you have to find sum of even numbers. As S1 we are going to find, and you have to find sum of odd numbers. This program has come in the board exam in 2006. So we have to generate numbers from 1 to n, natural numbers, and we have to check whether these natural numbers are even or odd, and we have to find the sum of even numbers separately and find the sum of odd numbers separately. So children, here we say class sum, and here I will input one number n because my natural numbers are from 1 to n. Now children, for finding out the sum, I am initializing two variables S1 and S2. S0. S1 I am going to store all my even numbers. In S2 I am going to store all my odd numbers. Now to generate all the odd numbers, I am generating a loop, or I am creating a loop from 1 to n. So in I am going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, and here I am saying if my number I is divisible by 2, it will be an even number which I am going to store in S1, and if my condition is false, then the number will be odd which I am going to store it in S2. So if my natural number is divisible by 2, I am storing the sum of the, or I am storing that number in S1, and if it is not divisible by 2, I am storing it in S2. Now children, this is one statement. If else is one statement, so the braces is not required. Even I am putting it, but this braces is not required. Now I get the sum of even numbers in S1 and sum of odd numbers in S2, which I write here as output. So sum of even numbers S1 sum of odd numbers I print in S2. So children, this program has come in the board exam also, and this is where we are finding out the sum of odd numbers and sum of even numbers for the first n natural numbers. I hope this is clear. Now children, we will do another program. Please write down. Write a program to print all the numbers which are divisible by 3 or by 4. Write a program to print all the numbers which are divisible by 3 or by 4 from 1 to 200. So print all the numbers from 1 to 200 which are divisible by 3 or by 4, and then there is a condition, print 8 numbers per line. In one line you have to print 8 numbers. So write a program to print all the numbers from 1 to 200 which are divisible by 3 or by 4 and print 8 numbers per line. So children, here again this divisible condition is there, so I am just putting my class name as divisible. Now public void main, I don't have to enter anything, so it is left as blank. Now children, I am taking one variable k as 0. This I will just let you know what this means. Now children, I am running my loop 1 to 200. So my numbers will get generated in I from 1 to 200. And children, here I am checking whether this I is divisible by 3 or this I is divisible by 4. If it is divisible by 3 or by 4, then I have to print this number. So children, I am going to use a print statement because print statement is going to print my numbers in a single row, and I am printing this number. And children, this is a escape sequence which I am using. When I put this slash t escape signal, it is going to leave by default 4 spaces. So the first number which will get printed will be 3. Then because of this slash t or tab function, it is going to leave few spaces. By default it is 4, but it can change, and it is going to print the next number. Then it is going to print the next number. So in this way this tab is leaving, but it is going to print all the numbers in a single row. Now children, since I have printed one number, here I am saying k plus plus. If I am printing a number, I am saying k plus plus. So first number gets printed, my value of k becomes 1. Second number gets printed, k becomes 2. Third, k becomes 3, and so on. When k will become 8, that means I have printed 8 numbers in one line. I have to go to the next line. So what I am doing here, I am again putting another condition. If k modulus 8 is equal to 0. In the first line, when k becomes 8, this condition will become true. Then I am using a statement called system.out.println, and this println, children, is blank. A blank println takes your control, takes your cursor to the next line. So children, what is it doing? It is printing all the numbers, and after printing a number, the value of k becomes 1, then 2, then 3. When 8 numbers get printed, this value becomes true, and because of this println statement, the control will come to the next line. Then again the next number will get printed, k becomes 9, 10, 11, 12, and when it becomes 16, that means next 8 numbers get printed. Again this condition will become true, the control will come to the next line, and so on. You will get 8 numbers per line. I hope this program is clear to you. So here what we have done, we have printed all the numbers from 1 to 200 which are divisible by 3 or by 4, and we have printed 8 numbers per line. In one line we are printing 8 numbers. This we are structuring, or this we are controlling with the help of this k, where after printing each number I am adding 1 to k, and when k becomes 8, we go to the next line. When k becomes 16, we go to the next line. Again when it becomes 24, we'll go to the next line, and so on. This control will keep on going to the next line. I hope children this program is clear. Please note down this program. Please note down this program, children. Now children, will come to the next program, and the next program is like this. Write a program to input an integer number. Write a program to input an integer number and count all its divisors, or we'll say print all its divisors or factors. Write a program to input an integer number and print all its factors or divisors. Factors and divisors are the same thing. Now children, say for example, I input a number n. Say if n is 10, then the factors of 10 will be all the numbers which are divisible by 10. 1 is divisible by 10, 2 is divisible by 10, 3 is not divisible, we will not print 4, no, 5, no. Yes, 5 is divisible, and then 10. So these are the factors of this number. If I say 6, 1, 2, 3 and 6, these are the factors of 6. Say if I say any other number, say 9, the factors of 9 are 1, 3 and 9. So what are the factors of 5? Factors of 5 are 1 and 5. So we want to print all these numbers which are the factors of a particular number we enter. So the program is, write a program to input an integer number and print all its factors or print all its divisors. So the program is like this. Class factors, we can say. I input a number, this is the number I am entering. Now children, I am running a loop which is from 1 to n. Now children, factors of n will be from 1 to 10 only if it is n is 10. If it is 6, then it will be 1 to 6. That is why I am running my loop from 1 to n. Now children, what I am going to do is, if my number is divisible by I, this we check by this. Say if 10 is divisible by 1, we print. If 10 is divisible by 2, we print it. If 10 is divisible by 3, it is not divisible, we will not print. So what we will do? So here we print all the factors. So what I have done, I have run my loop from 1 to that number, and any number which is divisible by n, I am going to print that number from 1 to n. So I have printed all my factors over here. Now children, is it possible to count all these factors? I want to count. Count means that 10 has got how many factors? 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 has got how many factors? 1, 2, 3, 4. 9 has got how many factors? 1, 2, 3. 5 has got how many factors? 1 and 5, that means 2. So the next program is write a program to input an integer number and count all its factors. Write a program to input an integer number and count all its factors. So here I am saying count. So for counting children, what I do, I take a variable called k to count. For sum, as I have taken s is equal to 0, to count I am taking k. In k I am going to find out these values. K, here it is 4, here again it is 4, here again it is 3, here the value of k. So this k I am going to find out in this. So what I am going to do, I am again going to find out my divisors or factors by the same method. I run a loop from 1 to that number and I check a condition. If n modulus I is equal to 0, in place of printing it I say k plus. So I am counting it. So in place of printing my number, I am counting my number. And once this loop gets over, here this loop will get over, I will print total divisors. How many are the total divisors? K. So in this program children, in place of printing the factors, I have counted my factors. So is this program clear? So I have run a loop from 1 to n, I have checked all the numbers which are divisible by n and I have counted them. So I come to know about these values 1, 3, 1, 2, 5. So I come to know about these values by this program. Now children, we are coming to the very important program now, which is there in the board exams also, and that program is write a program to input an integer number and check whether it is a prime number or not. And check whether it is a prime number or not. And children, we are going to do it with this program only. All of you know prime numbers. Prime numbers are those numbers which are divisible by 1 or by themselves. Like for example, I say prime numbers. 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number, 5 is a prime number, 7 is a prime number, 13 is a prime number, 17 is a prime number. All these are examples of prime numbers and there are many more numbers. Now children, we will see the factors. How many factors does 2 and 2 have? 1 and 2. How many factors? 3, 1 and 5. This program has 1 and 7. This number has 1 and 13. This number has 1 and. So we see that all the prime numbers have only how many factors? It has 2. All the factors are 2. And children, this factor we are already calculated in k. This factor we already have calculated in k. So I hope children now you can find out this program. You can do this program by this program only. Here we say prime, class prime. So please write the program. The program is write a program to print to input an integer number and check whether it is prime or not. And the definition of prime is the prime number is that number which is divisible by 1 and by itself. So a prime number has two factors. That is what we have come to the conclusion over here. We have counted the factors. In this program we already have counted the factors. Now if I say if k is equal to 2, if my factors are 2, I can say that my number is prime. And say children, if my number is other than prime, say for example 1, 2, 3 and 6, this number has 4 factors. So this number is not prime, since it is having 4 factors. So if a number is having only 2 factors, that means that this number is prime. So we print n is a prime number, and else we print that n is not a prime. So I hope children this program you have followed. In this program what we have done, first of all we have counted the factors of that number, total divisors we have counted, and if it is having 2 divisors then we say it is a prime number, otherwise it is a prime number. Now children, if you have followed this program, then there is another program called the composite numbers. Now all the numbers other than prime, leaving 1, are composite numbers. So 6 is not prime, but it is composite number. So all the numbers which have factors more than 2, not 1, so they are called as composite number. This program prime number has also come in the exam, and even composite number has come in the program. So we'll do that program also. Write a program to input an integer number. Write a program to input an integer number and check whether it is a composite number or not. And check whether it is a composite number or not. We can say that a composite number is 6 is composite number, 10 is composite number, 15 is. Why? Because it is having more than 2 factors. This is having 1, 3, 5, 15. So all these numbers are composite. But children, 1 is having 1, but this is not a composite number. And even 3 is having 2 factors, this is also not composite. This is prime, it is not composite number, neither it is prime nor composite. This one is coming in the category. So children, if you want to check this composite number, again the same program can be done. The only change is that you have to change the name also. Composite we have written, and we have counted the. Now here we are going to check if my total divisors are more than 2, I over here say that my number is a composite number. And here I say that my number is not a composite number. So children, this is just a minor change where you can do programs on prime also, programs on composite. If my total divisors are more than 2, then I say it is a composite number. And if it is equal to 2, I say it is a prime number. So this is how we can check whether my number is composite or my number is prime. I hope this program is clear to you all. Now children, we will come to the next category of program where I am going to do the same thing with divisors, but here I am going to find out the sum of all the divisors. So in this program I am going to find out the sum of my divisors. Sum of my divisors means just write down the program. Write a program to input an integer number and find the sum of all its divisors. Sum of all the divisors means if the number is 6, its divisor is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 6, that makes 12. This is what we have to find. If my number is 10, I have to find 1 plus 2 plus 5 plus 10, 15, 16, 17, 18. So the answer to this is 18. If my number is say 5, then my factors are 1 plus 5 and it is coming out to be 6. So I am here finding out the sum of my divisors. So the program is, write a program to input an integer number and find the sum of all its divisors. Find the sum of all its divisors. So children will see, class, I am writing sum, public void main, I am inputting a number, and children, for finding out the sum I am taking a variable. To find out the factor I am generating a loop from 1 to that number, which I am doing, and n modulus I, this I have done in all the programs, but in place of counting here I am saying s is equal to s plus I. So what I have done, children, here I have added all these. So 1 I will add to s, 2 I will add to s, 3 I will add to s, and all these factors I have added, and my sum has come, which I am going to. So my answer will be sum of divisors this is this. So children, this program is clear to you all. So here I have founded the divisor and I have added my divisor to s, and I have added all the divisors from 1 to that number in s, and finally I have printed s. Now children, if you have followed this program, there is another program which is coming in the board exam, and that program is write a program to input an integer number and check whether it is a perfect number or not. Perfect number. Now question comes, what is a perfect number? So we say a perfect number is that number which is equal to the sum of all its divisors except itself. A perfect number is that number which is equal to the sum of all its divisors except itself. Say for example, 6 has how many divisors? 1, plus 2, plus 3 and plus 6. It is saying sum of all the factors except itself. So we are giving this number. Now we say 1 plus 2 plus 3, that makes what? 6. Now children, this sum is equal to this number, that means 6 is a perfect number. Now we see another example, 28. Factors are 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus what is the next divisor of 28? 4. 4 plus 7 plus 14 and plus 28. So 1 plus 2, 3 plus 4, 7. This makes 7 plus 7, 14 plus 14, 28, and we have left this number. So again the sum is coming out to be 28. And if you see children, 10 is having a factor of 1 plus 2 plus 5 and plus 10 we have to leave. So here the sum is coming out to be 8. So this number is not perfect. So children, a perfect number is that number which is equal to the sum of all its factors except itself. And children, sum of factors we already have done. Now what we can do in this program is, I am going to change it to perfect. I am checking a number for perfect, and to run a loop, I am just running my loop not from 1 to 6 but from 1 to 5. So I have just removed this equal to sign. So I am running my loop from 1 to less than that number, because I have to remove that number, and I have founded out my sum. So this sum I have founded out. Now I am going to check a condition. If this sum is equal to this n, then this n is a perfect. So what I have to check? If my sum is equal to n, I will print n is a perfect number, and else I will print that n is not a perfect, is not a perfect number. So children, I hope this program is clear to you. To check for perfect number, if my sum of the divisors except that number that I have changed by running my loop till less than n, is equal to my original number, then that original number is a perfect number. Otherwise, it is not a perfect number. So children, this program has also come in the board exam, and all these programs which we are doing under this heading, they are very important programs. They are coming in exam. So children, thank you for this video. We'll continue with the same modulus programs in the next video. Thank you very much.